Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Hurry Hard, the Manitoba curling show right here on Shaw TV. I am your host, Kevin Hirschfield. We're very excited to be bringing you a show that's unlike any other in this province. It's a show all things local curling, and we're going to be coming to you on a bi-weekly basis. So every second week, a brand new episode with all the latest news and notes, the latest scores and results. We'll have features on new programs, and we'll have some interviews with familiar faces as well. So, basically, if you're a curling fan, you are going to love this show. Trust me on that one. And as part of this show, we're going to be coming to you from a different curling club around the province every single show. Our first episode brings us to Portage La Prairie at the Portage Curling Club, where the mixed doubles Bonspiel took place this past weekend. Teams from all around the world, Scotland, Russia, China, coming to Portage La Prairie to compete against some of our best mixed doubles teams from right here in Canada and Manitoba. So we will have full results from all of that. We'll have a ton of footage for you. We got Jeff Stoughton joining us on the show today. He's actually Curling Canada's mixed doubles manager, so he's going to explain the game a little bit for us, and he's going to show us some rules in case you're not familiar with it. As well, coming to Portage La Prairie later this year is the Viterra Men's Provincial Championship. So we'll talk with an organizer about that to see how preparations are going and how you can get tickets and maybe help volunteer as well. So all that and a whole lot more coming up in the very first episode of Hurry Hard. But first, we wanted to tell you a little bit more about the place we're setting up shop at here. Let's learn more about the Portage Curling Club. 75 kilometers west of Winnipeg down the Trans-Canada Highway stands the Portage Curling Club in Portage La Prairie.
Portage is one of the original founding members of the Manitoba Curling Association. So 1881 was Portage's founding year, a long time ago.
The club had several different locations around the city since 1881 before moving to its current spot in the fall of 1977 with 8 sheets and some other unique features.
First of all, you have a hotel attached right to the curling rink, so you can come before a Bonspiel starts, you park your car, you don't have to go anywhere, you don't have to drive anywhere. The dining room can feed you all weekend, and it's pretty good that way. It's not far. We're not far from Winnipeg, It's all it's a pretty good location. So
the club hosts 3 world-class events, including the Canad mixed doubles and the Prairie men's and women's classics, featuring some of the top players in the game.
Kevin Cooey with a record of 7-2 in this event.
Other notable events the city has hosted include the 1990 World Junior Championships, the 2012 Manitoba Scotties Tournament of Hearts, and the 1999 and 2003 Men's Provincial Championships. The local arena in Portage, the PCU Center, will host this season's Men's Provincial Viterra Championship. Portage teams have also won some notable events. It was a Portage man, William H. Burns, who skipped a Manitoba team en route to a gold medal at the 1932 Lake Placid Olympics in New York. The club has also had several provincial women's champions, including the Lily Clark rink in 1956 and 1957, and the Marlene Derbyshire rink in 1974. Portage has never had a provincial men's champion, but teams skipped by Barry Greenslade, Bill Patterson, and Don Spriggs have made it all the way to the provincial final.
It's this shot personified the game for Don Spriggs.
And now, 135 years after the first club opened in Portage La Prairie, the community still shows its curling pride.
I'd say we do have a pretty steady base, in the men's and the ladies league. We have some afternoon seniors leagues and mixed leagues during the day too, which have always been pretty well supported too. So, we're an 8-sheet curling club, and we get 16 teams out there and 64 curlers. That's a lot of players on one draw, right?
And we welcome you back to Hurry Hard. Joining us now, a familiar face I'm sure to most. He's the 2-time world champ, 11-time Manitoba champ, Jeff Stoughton, joining us in a bit of a different role though in the last couple of years. You are Curling Canada's mixed doubles manager. So how did you get involved with that, first of all? How long has it been? How did you get involved? And what did you really know about mixed doubles before?
I guess, I put my hand up. I didn't realize I put it up that high to become the program manager. I approached them and just said if they wanted some help in the mixed doubles, because it just was sort of announced that it's going to be in the Olympics about a year and a half ago, and got a call back and said, well, do you want to be the program manager? And I said, sure. So it was great timing. I was retiring from the game, wanted to stay involved with Curling Canada or with curling in Canada, and it's a great mix. It's a very new game, but I'm looking forward to it.
What does your role kind of consist of as the program manager?
Yeah, it's basically, originally it was sort of recruiting and trying to get some teams to come out and play. It's not a very popular event right now in Canada. We're trying to grow it and make it very popular. We're trying to get some TV and get some games out there. And so it's trying to recruit some of the household names, make sure that the teams that have already played mixed doubles know that there's someone out there that can help them with national team funding and programming and what we're going to try and do, best practices, and then, you know, be with the team when they're at the World Championships and help qualify for the Olympics.
We know at many curling events, Canada is always a favorite. Is that the same at a mixed doubles event, or would you say, you know, maybe we're an underdog of some sort? Where are we when it comes to that?
We're definitely an underdog. We've only medaled once in 9 years at mixed double World Championships, so we haven't performed at our best. And I think that's the concern of they're only inviting 7 teams to the Olympics, so we have to finish in the top 7 to be able to get there. So last year we finished 5th, which was great. We had a great run. So this year, same thing. We go to the Worlds. Hopefully we finish another top 5 and we'll get into the Olympics and see if we can sneak a medal out.
You mentioned you're getting some household names. We've seen some big names out here this week. What are their thoughts on things as they get more familiarized with it? How are they feeling about it? Yeah,
we've had a couple of really good, bigger Bonspiel events which we wanted them to come and participate in, and nothing but positive feedback. There's a lot. They're so excited about the game. They feel it's certainly different because we're all new at it. We don't really know how to play, what the right shot is, what the strategy is. So they're really engaged in the game and learning. And I think that's what's different with the traditional game. It's if you're a high performance traditional game player, you know exactly how each end's going to play out. You know what you have to do. Here it's still, well, we got the power play and we've got to, do we throw it top of the house, back of the, there's so many different shots. And both players that are out there are, basically calling shots, calling line and everything. So it's very interesting.
We'll learn a little bit more about the rules in a bit. Jeff's going to bring us on the ice, demonstrate some of the things you may not know about it. But just a few more questions for you. You mentioned we're a bit of an underdog in mixed doubles. Who are those powerhouse countries who have won a lot, and what do we need to do to get on their level?
Yeah, it's very interesting that we definitely are an underdog. The Hungarian team has won 2 of the last 3 World Championships. The Russian team won the World Championships last year. The Chinese team was silver. Scotland was 4th. US was 3rd. So a lot of these countries that you may not think that they have great curlers in them have a great men's curler and a great women's curler, and they're becoming powerhouses. And it's something that we aren't used to, not being the best, right? So it's we're trying to switch that and make those teams know that Canada's going to be there to contend.
You talk about getting a little more exposure on television. How do you think viewers seeing this for the first time will react to it? Do you think it's more exciting game than your traditional curling game? Where do you think that ranks?
Yeah, well, I think most of them think it's not curling, and that's the point. It's not the same as a curling game. It's definitely different. It's mixed doubles. There's rocks in play to start a game. I think the one thing they'll notice is how fast it is. It's over in under an hour and a half, so it's very quick, so maybe it's something more to the younger generation of a quicker game. And the thing they're going to notice as a spectator is both players are engaged in the game, meaning they're both calling shots, calling line, where in a normal game the skip is usually the main guy or gal out there. So it's just going to be faster, and there should be a lot more rocks in play, so it's a lot more fun to watch and see these players make these angle raises and perfect freezes.
Put you on the spot before we go. If you had to have your ideal mixed doubles partner, if you were kind of competing here, who would be your ideal mixed doubles partner? You can pick anyone.
Fair. I'll say my daughter.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, she's a second-year curler, but we played one little mixed doubles pickup game last year, and we killed them, so we're good. We're 1-0.
Bright future for the Stoughtons, maybe in mixed doubles. Jeff will join us in a bit on ice as we will demonstrate some of the rules. But stay tuned. We'll be right back on Hurry Hard.
There are an estimated 1.5 million registered curlers around the world, and over 45% of them are from Canada. That's 710,000 Canadian curlers.